Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube art tutorial channel. I'm a professional artist working from my studio in Essex in the UK and painting plein air in the countryside. This week's demonstration comes from Molehill Hut in Herefordshire, and I'm painting the chicken coop in the grounds of Molehill Hut. Well, when you're near a chicken coop and you want to paint a picture of the chickens running around and get that dappled light, well, I was very lucky today in many ways because I've got the sunshine, but then in the matter of seconds it can be raining again. So I've come just under the trough. I've made a quick pencil sketch and now I'm going to work from memory, and I may even pop back and have another quick look between the showers. Now in the meantime the sun has come out, which is very good, but I'm just going to put some colour down from memory really to start with. And the first thing that really struck my eye was the very lemon yellow of the trees in the background. Let's see if we can loosen this lemon yellow up. Really sunlit sort of feel to them, which is seems to fit the whole thing. Now I'm painting over the trees but around the chickens, because at this particular stage I want them to remain just purely the lighter paper colour, because to me it is what I saw, and I'm trying to get some light into this early on with a little bit of splash of red too here and there, my normal sort of way that I try and depict light in these sort of dark or green passages anyway. So there's the background. I'm using raw sienna for the coop or the hut at this moment, and that's going to go all over except the top and wheels perhaps, yep, and the top of the area there where the chickens hopefully will lay their eggs. Now I'm using cadmium yellow here instead of the lemon, and picking around the chickens again. You've got a couple of greys there. I'm not good with chickens for the variety, so you'll have to bear with me on this, but all I do know is that they make lovely little creatures to paint, and I do enjoy their eggs, by the way. There's a black there as well somewhere, but nice orangey colours. A bit more yellow. I think the yellow is quite important to give light, because that's what I'm looking to achieve. Lovely film of light onto this this grass here, because above there are sorry, above, I can just hear a helicopter coming. Above there is some apple trees here, and they have dropped apples onto, so what I want to do onto the ground here, so what I want to do is to try and depict a few of these apples in just dotted around here in clumps. So a bit more yellow, a bit more green. Of course there would be touches of greens as well as yellows. just to give an impression, really. That's what I'm looking to do, an impression of apples in the grass. And that's my impression of apples in the grass. And we have a visit of a helicopter. And to them greens I'm going to put a bit of red, because you see a little bit sparkle of red onto these apples occasionally. There you go, look at that. And that, at this stage, looks nothing like apples. But I'm not really worried, because that's what I think they are. Get the orange of the chickens. I'm doing a red and a yellow, like that. Just to get the nice orange here. As soon as I see more colour than not, that's for certain. Always something that I would suggest is a good thing to do. And now I'm going for a grey, so I'm putting a blue with that, because we're looking for a grey variety of chicken. And grey varieties come there, and there, of that. Not difficult to paint chickens. And then we have a black. So that is just 3 primaries really. Red, a blue, perhaps a yellow just to tone it back, but mainly a red and a blue will give me probably as near black as I need, because they're not really black. Not in real terms. There we are. And that to me is probably as near to black as we're going to get. Now the next area will be the greenery in the background, that is the, let me just try and pick up a bit more water. It's sort of a ultramarine and plenty of the lemon yellow. Just use plenty of lemon, because that is vital for this. And this is the green that hangs down the back here. The other colour will come through it, so don't want to be too concerned with the tone of that. But that comes down there like that. Let's just sweep that across and sweep that across there, just leaving that trunk unpainted, and sweeping that in like that, around the chicken again, down like that, and around this trunk, because we do have a little bit of interest on that trunk, and I'll show you that later. and the colour underneath is now beginning to help show just a hint of something in the background, hint of a bit of tone value. That's good. Now I've just painted a dark area there, and just where that hedge stands against the light tone, and I'm just softening that with a damp brush. Yeah. Now this is an apple tree, so it's fairly dark, at least down the back edge there and up the top as well. And what I want to do is to show some light catching onto the top of that. But first I'm going to do a purple and a red for the underside, something where it's very much darker there, the underside there, the old apple tree. Then take the little brush again, clean it off, and I'm going to lift off some dappled light there, and another area there that just swings across there, and another small area there, possibly a little bit there, just in places. If you notice, that gives that lovely subtle light that is not heavy at all, but it certainly gives it a softness. Let's make that one just a little different in shape. There you go. And I think that probably does it. As a sense of light coming across the trunk, and a little bit there, because that would also have a little bit of shade to it. There we are. And that's how you do sunlight dappled across the trunk. Now in the background we have ivy running here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and depict, there you go, that ivy catching light on that trunk, running out of picture there. And if you've ever been to Molehill Hut, you should have actually have seen that. That's the way that ivy clad tree heads off up there like that. Yeah. Beautiful. And that's how you do ivy running up a trunk. While I have this little dark green colour on, I'm going to go around the chicken again, because that needs one other tone of colour, because if it doesn't have that, the chicken does not stand out in clear relief, and that's what I want it to do. And I think that's pretty much what that does do for it. Just standing in the shade there. Well, it's not in the shade, but it's being shaded. And then just a little bit darker there, a little bit there, and tapering. Yeah. Oh yes, and perhaps a bit there as well. that needed requirement. Like that. There we are. Too worried about that. We've got an overhang there anyway coming. Now I have the lovely post there. Could be a bit browner than that. In other words, a bit more red. A bit more red in that somewhere. There we go. And then a little tad more water to help point the brush. I'm going to run a bit of a wire sort of gate there. Something to that effect. And 1 or 2 little small lines indicating a fence. While I have this dark red, I'm going to go down the back edge of this tree, this lovely old tree here, just to give it a texture in places, which is always required when you're painting trees, to get that lovely feeling of strength to the shadow side of the trunk, with a red and a blue. Favourite mix for that. And then of course that then slides out of picture. There's also another patch there, comes down around that knuckle there, or that joint. There we are. Make that just a little bit wider. Just feel that would be. And there you go. That's what I would class as a bit of texture to that tree with dappled light. That same colour with a little bit more water is going to be used for the wheels. The lovely old wheels that stand there and there. Rusty old wheels that really a little bit of concentration, but I think I've got that. Let's just see what we've got here. But inside there we go. And there we have the rusty wheels that are supporting the wood coat. Now I'm going to use a grey for the tiles. They are actual fact tiles, which sometimes they're not tiles, but this one is. Got a little bit of light showing, so we'll leave that at that. So we've got lovely tiled roofing to the egg store, I suppose you'd call that. A bit more red now for the roof support there. And as you go around the corner, no doubt it will get oh, I think it's got a tin roof as well. There we go. And a bit of width there to that roof. It's always a good thing to do. Perfect. Oh, and that, they've actually blacked that window out, presumably so foxes can't get in or whatever, I don't know, but no doubt there is a good reason. Now I'm putting the hinges on for the door from presumably to be able to reach the eggs in the back. There we go. Oh, and we do have a like a lock of some sort, I suppose, there. And then we'll just put a bit of shadow support under there. It just helps to give that a little bit of additional feel, like that. I'm picking up the cadmium red now for the chickens. Tops of the chickens' heads. That's it. I think that's okay. I think it seems to work. Blend it a bit. That's it. And then remove most of the paint before just lifting it away. That's it. You get a soft edge, which is what really we're looking for, I think. Legs, well, if we need to, we will just pop them in, but not always necessary. No, that's fine. And here we go. Got my mix somewhere about right, so that's a bonus. And I'm just trying to depict the feeling of leafing and branches that are overhanging there. I always think as something that is not a major skill, something that can probably all learn quite easily given time, but it does help if you've had a little bit of practice before it's sort of before it's required, really, I suppose. And they are the leaves from the apple trees. That's the reason why we have apples there. It's going to hang over that gate a little. Well, mine are. Just like the idea of that. There we go. Look at that. Bit more blue going in. And a touch of red now. My old favourite. Just to enhance the green. There we go. There we are, not too much, just enough. And kind of a branch that runs across here, look. There's a novelty. Look at that. Just to help justify the dappled shadow on that trunk. There we are. Now I think shadows are imminent. Just going to put one more wash of warm tone, but not go too mad with this. There you go. Just to warm that up before I shade it. perfect. Just gives it that little bit of warmth. Once I bring shadow in, it'll bring it all to life. And as you can probably hear, it's just started to rain, so that's just as well I've sneaked back round the corner to do the rest of this. And now a bit of other shadow work going in now to try and liven this up. It needs life. If you can get life into your paintings, then you're halfway there. Biggest problem with this, got the wind blowing in on it, and it's blowing rain over it, so that's not exactly making for ideal working conditions. But then again, when you're plein air, I don't think you ever get ideal working conditions. Too hot, too cold, too wet, too windy, you know. Normally find that's the trouble when you plein air. But having said that, isn't it so much more fun than being in a studio? Well, actually, I'll answer that at the end of this. Now, underneath that tree, we have lots of dappled light. And that's what I've got to try and show here. With that rain intending to cause me a lot of problem if I let it. Of course I don't let it, do I? Because that's the art of plein air painting. Just don't allow rain to cause you any problem. You try and mitigate it some ways, and hopefully, if you're quick enough, you can still achieve a desired effect. Here we go. A bit more blue now, going in for the back edge here, down there, more or less like that. I overlap that a bit too much, but there you go. That should shine through nicely, and we've got a shadow under there like that, shadow under here like that. Oh, and a shadow down there, of course. Bit more blue, yeah, bit more blue now for a shadow underneath that box like that. There you go, and underneath that box there, because that'll come through at that sort of angle, I think, and then that's that area there, and that shines through there. There we go. Perfect, look at that. And now the raindrops are getting on the work, and that's causing me even more fun and games to go with the rest of my problems. But of course, we just bash on. There we are. Lovely and dark underneath. Once that dries, that will be perfect. Then we have dappled light running up there as well. Like that. Brilliant. Hoping the rain doesn't spoil things too much. Bit under there, bit in front of that, chicken there. Softening all this now. Mystical feel, that's what I'm after. There we are. And we need to allow that to dry before we put in our finishing touches. Just going to put in one or two little finishing touches. Which I commonly term as fiddly bits. Like that. Bit of red and bit of blue, that's all that's required. More or less just shapes the whole thing up really. There we go. The little finishing touches gone in. And now what I've got to do is just take the surround away and see exactly what we've got. Well, there you go, the surround is away, and all I'm going to do, just sign it up in my normal way. And I'm signing here today. Not sure why, but in my new signature. There we have it. Chickens, Molehill Hut.